As the other Adam, I'll give you the industry perspective of our view of how ICT companies in Denmark and across the world are going to make this happen. 6 months ago, I had a great experience of visiting or hosting the Estonian president in Copenhagen. It was just such a great experience because he was probably the most visionary politician in the ICT area that I ever met. And visiting Estonia is always so inspiring because there are so many great solutions, so many great ideas that you cannot find anywhere else. So I'm very happy to participate today. Just a brief word where I'm from. I'm the CEO of the ICT and Electronics Federation. We represent the major companies in Denmark in everything from software to electronics. We focus on a lot of areas, and actually we're striving to change the way we are working as an industry from, you can say, providing the tools that enable companies, enable the government to drive their ambitions, to becoming a partner in driving transformation forward in companies, in the government, and in society. So we're the industry that hope that we can help in cooperation with our partners making it happen. This is the digital transformation we're working on. We symbolized it with some dots on my slide. We're working to create the perfect framework for devising these transformative solutions in government and in businesses. We're working on transforming not just the ICT and electronics sector, but all companies and public sector, working on using data, using innovative solutions to not just improve the efficiency of government, but transforming what government is all about. And we focus a lot on building the right foundations in trust, in privacy and IT security, and also in digital skills and education, which are often the basic hindrances to transformation. I'm also responsible for trying to drive transformation of all companies in Denmark. We have about 500,000 companies in Denmark. 10,000 of the biggest companies are represented in the Association of Danish Industry, where I'm also responsible for trying to drive transformation of companies. And we asked our member companies, the 10,000 companies, how are you transforming yourself using various technologies? And you'll see that if you look at the bigger companies, many are moving forward and seeing possibilities in new technologies, using automation, AI, robots, and so on, using big data, Internet of Things, and 3D printing as examples. The bigger companies are moving ahead faster, but we want to see all companies move forward. So it can be a little alarming that although many know that transformation is coming, fewer have focused on ICT. Still, a quarter of Danish companies are not focusing enough on ICT. We have about a quarter of companies that focus on how they can do digital transformation to a great extent, but many are waiting. So we want to make this transformation happen. I started out by saying that digital is not only a tool. Often, I think many politicians think that this is something that's done in the IT department, that's done in the technology department once you figure out what you're going to do. But what we see happening today in government and in businesses is that ICT is increasingly transforming, potentially transforming all areas of businesses and government and society. So we need to completely change the way we look at using ICT and electronics. We can use it to transform our businesses. We can use it to transform government, like Estonia does with some of these innovative solutions like e-citizenship. And we can use it to develop new ways of doing business, new products that use ICT in completely novel ways, and basically transform our entire future. What are the barriers that companies see for these things to happen? We've done a lot of surveys, both of businesses and government. They all would say the same, with slight variations. What are the key barriers to this transformation? The key barriers are always money, time, and competences, skills. It doesn't matter if you ask about e-commerce, if you ask about government IT, if you ask about how you can implement IoT solutions in industry, you have the same problems. And basically, there are a lot of different problems. How you're using data. Regulation is old. You cannot use Uber. You have problems working with some kinds of data in government and so on. A lot of problems to be solved. But basically, when you look at the barriers that industry leaders and government leaders face, we always end up in the biggest obstacle being leadership. We need this digital leadership. That's the key issue. We've teamed up with all the companies in Denmark. This is the CEO of the industry association, the main employer association representing 62% of Danish companies measured by size. He said last week, we have to focus on digitalization as a key driver of growth in Danish company and the key to transforming government. This is important if we want to succeed in the digital world. We need a political commitment. As you all know, in Denmark, Estonia, and the rest of the Nordics, we're leaders in digital, in e-government, and in businesses. We're doing great. We are among the leaders across the world in cooperation with, in comparison also with other leaders like Singapore, Canada, and so on, and the UK. But if you look at all the surveys, we are losing our edge. A lot of companies are challenging us. So we really need to move forward. Our head start is diminishing. And what is the main problem? The main problem is that now we face some barriers that can only be changed by political leadership. And that's why it was so wonderful to hear the Estonian president and the vision he had for digital. We have sometimes difficulty getting this into the political agenda, and that's really the key point. And if we want to use government data, we have to have access to political leaders that allow us the new and novel ways of using data. If data is available, we can find fantastic solutions with it. But we need the political will to allow us to transform society with it. This week, the Danish Prime Minister gathered business leaders and academia at a great conference in his the residency in Northern Zealand to discuss how we can do Industry 4.0 and digitalization to transform Denmark. This is what's needed, but we also need to move beyond focusing on the buzzwords that we often use in the industry, and looking at how we're going to make transformation happen for real. And we think 4 things are necessary. We need better analysis, how you can use data, how you can use digitalization and technology. We need better political solutions, and that's why discussing among leaders such as yourself is so important. We also need strong CEO focus in each company, not just companies that work in digital at the moment, but any company, from the smallest to the biggest. And we need much stronger collaboration and use of best practices across companies and the public sector to make this happen. Finally, working on a think tank. I'm a member of the Top of Digital Europe think tank, which is a non-profit that tries to combine key players across the Nordics. It's open for partners if you're interested, and tries to drive best practices and analysis of how we can do digital and across the Nordics. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
All right. So, actually quite synergetic story from both sides, right? Any questions to Denmark? Immediately, yes.
To the last speaker, do you sense that there is enough political leadership at the European Union level with the digital single market? What's your assessment?
Actually, I was thrilled that the European Commission put forward the digital single market as one of the 10 priorities, and it's a great program. I think so far I'm spending a lot of time on this program, and we're very happy with a lot of the stuff happening. It's moving forward. It was an incredibly ambitious program, but it's moving forward as scheduled, so that's good. One of the key problems for Europe as a whole is that we're losing to the US and Asia unless we do something. When you looked at Denmark, you noticed one of the telephone companies in the GSM area where we were leaders. We still have great companies. Ericsson, Nokia is coming up again. We still have great leaders in this area, but we're losing out, and really need to do something across the entire European areas. And I think the Nordics have a great opportunity to be part of this transformation.
All right. Anyone else? But perhaps this just ask from the government side a bit still. So Grunddata, right? As I understood also from the video, you're very much looking for public input as well about, let's say, what sort of things, what sort of applications could be there, based on this sort of data and combining of that. And, citizen-centric or user-focused sort of government is very much like a buzzword as well these days. Have you gotten any ideas already, any input from, bottom-up sort of?
Well, actually, we're getting a lot of input and we're getting a lot of demand for this. So far, we're actually not focusing on this. So we're not picking up all the fruits that we can see here, even the low-hanging ones. What we're doing is that we're right now focusing within the program on this, on establishing this, getting the data right. And then at the same time, in parallel, what we do is that we are trying to establish this transformation of the thinking in the public sector, in the public authorities, because obviously we cannot centrally design the services that each authority need in order to improve their service design, service delivery design and approach. So we're thinking very much on how we can create this, how we can nurture this ecosystem and create this transformation through a cultural, well, a change in the mindset of people. So we're not right now. We're basically like creating the infrastructure. We're not like we're not putting the cars out on the roads yet.
Right, right. But what about the company side still? I mean, exactly, you said that for most companies it's still a mind leap and a challenge to start thinking about digital transformation. But now that the basic data is there, are there already good actual use cases and business cases in the market?
It's a wonderful basic data program. Let me just give you one example where it's really making a difference in the industry. One of the areas that they're focusing on is in the utilities area. This is a Danish strength, you can say, in business. We have great leaders in using the efficient use of energy and utilities, smart energy solutions in general. Water management and things like that. This is a great use case because these data allow companies in this industry area to use novel solutions like IoT solutions and advanced data analysis to improve their products.
But are they already doing it?
They're already doing it, but they can do much more.
Okay.
So let me give you an example. 2 weeks ago, I visited Danfoss, which is one of the key makers of equipment for heating. If you want to heat your supermarket and stuff like that, these major industry solutions for heating, big market in China and so on. They put their data, they have enormous amounts of data. Now they found new ways to put it in the cloud, combine it with some public data, for instance, on weather, and create new solutions for their customers that really drive value. And it's really making a difference. So we see new solutions are going on based on a lot of data, including public data.
All right. Well, thanks to both of you.
Thank you.